Hundreds of millions of jobs are going to be lost by AI and automation. Take a look at this chart. You probably think this is bad for the stock market because more unemployed people and less available cash to spend within the economy is probably a bad thing.
But what if it isn't? And what if it has the complete opposite effect?
Right now, there's no case to say that the valuation is a limiting factor to remain long.
When is AI a hygiene factor? And is it when AI is a hygiene factor, which is when you're looking that the bubble could burst?
If we're talking about the AI race, there's probably only one company that doesn't get enough mention in AI, I don't think. And that is...
This podcast is for educational purposes only and is not intended to be financial product advice or any investment recommendation. Stay tuned for additional disclaimers at the end of the episode. Okay, so AI is taking everyone's jobs.
Pretty much.
Done. Podcast finished. Thanks for watching.
I think the interesting thing, and I've mentioned this before about AI, is that it's that usual belief that AI is just ChatGPT. It's just perplexity.
That is a really interesting point, though. Sorry to just completely cut you off instantly as soon as we start. But I was talking to, your good barometer of all this is always your parents.
Yeah.
Right? I was talking to my dad. He went, AI, right? You use that chat and they can never say GPT. It's like PGT, yeah. TBG or whatever, something like that. You use that, right? So what is it? And that was the conversation. And then I just rolled my eyes and walked away.
Yeah.
Without helping him. So great son, but
I mean,
this is everybody's view that know, unless you're in trading or you have any other idea around it, it's just like LLMs basically.
Yeah, I mean, the perfect example of this is actually Salesforce getting rid of 3,000 people because they can replace their human capital with technological capital, which is AI.
Yeah.
And so that's really what AI is in this remit. And so if we're looking at 75 million jobs being replaced just in the US, by the way, that's not even including China and India, which is way, way more.
Yeah.
We can see that this is actually going to change how businesses operate, which is the more interesting thing. But if that's changing how businesses operate, businesses are always going to do stuff to increase profit margins, right?
Yeah.
For stocks, that is a good thing, even if people are unemployed.
Yeah, because, more profitable stocks means stocks go higher, right?
Exactly. But I guess the thing is that if there's more unemployed people, where is the money going to come to pay for these products?
But this has been going on for, chatbots have been around for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Chatbots have been getting rid of help desks for 10 years, would we say?
Yeah.
So this is not necessarily something new from a chat perspective. And what we got to look at, there's two sides to this. There's the how AI interacts with the end user, the customer. And then there's what AI is doing behind the scenes. And we're going to kind of split that up a little bit. And some of the companies we look at split that in half. But actually the AI side that interacts with the customer isn't the biggest fear for jobs, right? Because that front facing, fundamentally people, and I get this will change as generations go on, but fundamentally people still like dealing with people.
Exactly.
Right? So that I don't think will fundamentally change. It will skew one way, of course, and I imagine what will happen is you will end up having to pay a premium to deal with a real human being, right? Eventually. Whereas at the moment you pay a premium to use AI because it's quicker. That will shift, in my opinion, and it will be a case of you will pay a premium to speak to a person.
That's very interesting. In that as well, there's something to be said about sales, is that I don't know if AI will be able to directly emotionally connect with a person, because sales is emotion. It's not actually product or features or anything like that.
I already enjoyed talking to ChatGPT more than I enjoyed talking to my family, to be fair. But go on, carry on.
I've trained an AI on myself, and I quite enjoy speaking to myself.
To yourself?
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me about you.
But look, I think in terms of how people are thinking of AI, there's this preconception that, it's a bubble just because it's gone up.
Yeah.
And something Jerome Powell said just last week after the FOMC was someone made a kind of parallel with the dot-com, right? And Jerome Powell's answer straight back was that the valuations right now compared to the companies during the dot-com are completely different, because the companies right now are actually making money. Now, Pets.com, they IPO'd at $11 a share, and they raised $82.5 million at their IPO. That is a joke these days. Some firms would do that
even with inflation.
Some firms would do that from one investor, let alone an IPO on the actual stock market, you know. And they were doing revenues, I think, of 5 mil.
Yeah.
You know, and we've got a chart here of Meta, Facebook, and all of the AI stocks, Oracle, Nvidia. The thing is that AI is not these firms' actual business.
No, exactly. And that's the common misconception, right?
Yeah.
Is that these companies are AI firms.
No.
OpenAI, that's an AI firm.
Yes.
Right? Not Nvidia, Tesla. Nvidia make chips.
Yeah.
Oracle make chips. Tesla make cars.
Yeah. It just so happens that, you know, AI is the driver of demand for Nvidia chips right now.
Yeah.
It was
it's
Bitcoin.
The technology,
you
right?
know, it was Bitcoin mining, say, 8-9 years ago. You know, so different technologies are demanding this higher power for
But
Nvidia.
you can see why there's a comparison, or people want to make a comparison to .com, right? To the .com bubble. Because everybody wants to pick a bubble, you know, everybody wants to do that and go, oh, I told you so, this is all going to fall shit, and it did. But if we look, the issue around these companies is the fact that where is the contingency? Technology is the forefront. So .com technology was the front, is the internet, right? That was the technology. Bitcoin mining, that was the technology. Now AI is the technology, and these companies are just doing it better than anybody else.
Yeah, it's one of the factors that I look at when a business is doing something tangential just to increase their margins. Like, if you take Google and Meta, they make money from advertising. All AI is going to do is increase the amount of money that they can make from advertising. So Meta, for instance, now an agency or an advertiser on Meta can't actually manually define who they're targeting. They've got something called ADV+, which is now completely black boxed, and AI selects who is going to see your adverts. And it can even create adverts for you now. It's mental. Yeah. And this is purely so that advertisers are going to see a lower cost per acquisition. Similar with Google, they're going to venture down into that route as well. So this isn't their actual business. All they're looking at it from is a way to increase profit margins. That's all it is.
Less marketing cost equals more bottom line.
More money, exactly. And Microsoft, they have so many chips now that the limiting factor is actually the amount of power that they can get to use those chips. And they're still buying more.
Yeah.
If you look at Nvidia, this is why Nvidia is not a bubble. Nvidia's order book, even though they're trading at 69 times free cash flow, Nvidia's order book is filled to the end of 2026. They cannot make more than the current orders that they have.
Yeah.
And every quarter that keeps getting filled up again. Of course, there might be a day when that slows down. However,
there will be a day when that slows down.
Absolutely. Or will there be? That's the other question. However, right now, there's no case to say that the valuation is a limiting factor to remain long. That is the big issue. And so from that, you can also say, okay, well, it's probably not a limiting factor to remain long the S&P either.
No. Right now, as you look at this, I was looking this morning, right? I was doing some content this morning, and I looked at a few different websites, and then I look at the headline websites. So the websites that your general trader is looking at, retail trader is looking at, so CNBC, Bloomberg, right? I looked at those front pages of those, FT, whatever. There is a AI story in every single one of them, right? And I suppose the question here is there an AI story in every single one of those because that's what people want to read about, or because actually that is the investment, or both? You know, is it just both?
It's both.
Because everybody's talking AI, everybody wants a bit of AI, and it's the only trade which is Is it safe to say that AI is propping up the US economy? Without AI, is the US economy in trouble? Very hypothetical because you can't withdraw it, you know. But
I'd say from Nvidia's perspective, yes, there's an element of that. But then, you know, 10, 15 years ago, maybe Apple was doing the same. You know,
exactly.
Apple were a massive buyer of US Treasuries as well.
And Apple wasn't a bubble, right? That technology around. You know, we talk Mag 7 now, and that Mag 7's probably going to change soon, but we were talking FANG stocks before.
Yeah.
Right? It was app-based. That was where we were going. It was everything that was app-based. So Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, you know, was it Alphabet, Google, whatever. But it was app-based. This is just the shift. These markets are cyclical. Everything shifts around. .com, FANG stocks, whatever it may be. We flip around. And now we flip around to this AI story. But like we said before, it is this difference between the front-facing side of AI, which is the client interaction side, and then there is what AI is doing to assembly lines, what AI is doing to production, to marketing costs, to everything else from that perspective, which, as you say, affects the bottom line of these companies and just means that these companies make more money. And AI, from when we look at that, it won't just be AI companies which are making money from it. It will be the entirety of the S&P 500 because every company will be using AI to do their, picking an example, and sorry for online marketeers, but to do their online marketing, right? Save that for argument's sake. So every company will save money from that perspective. So when does it become a hygiene factor, AI? When is AI a hygiene factor? And is it when AI is a hygiene factor, which is when you're looking that the bubble could burst?
Well, yeah, I think it's a good point, productivity, because I think it depends on how long investors are willing to price those productivity gains into the future. So right now they're probably pricing it 10 years. Okay, well, if that drops by to, we want to start pricing it a bit sooner, perhaps, yeah, that deflates valuations a little bit. But the thing is that you cannot get away from the fundamental basis that the reason that stocks go up is because companies are making money for shareholders. And these companies are making a hell of a lot of money for shareholders.
Yeah.
You know, if we look at, I think it was even Palantir, they beat their EPS.
Yeah.
They beat their revenue as well. And so these companies are genuinely making money. And this isn't fake money. Like, it's real money that's flowing through the economy,
100%.
even with interest rates where they are, right? And there's that added factor now that Powell is in fact probably going to cut interest rates further in December.
Even though he says he might not, he probably will.
They're going to cut.
Yeah.
Because I say they are. And so, you know, there's that element. But I think, you know, if we're talking about the AI race, there's probably only one company that doesn't get enough mention in AI, I don't think. And that is Tesla.
Just happens to be one of our picks.
Yeah, one of our picks for the year. It's well above year-to-date price now.
Yeah,
but
Rolls-Royce, the other one.
The real interesting thing about Tesla is something that I've picked up on just recently is the whole Mars thing.
Yeah.
Right? So obviously Elon wants to colonize Mars. Sounds absolutely bonkers, but there's probably only one person on the planet that could do that.
Yeah.
SpaceX now is taking 90 or 95% of the total payload each year of the world by itself. That's just Elon.
Wow.
You've got FSD truly coming now, fully self-drive. Is it full self-drive?
Fully
self-drive, FSD. That's all I've ever known it as, is FSD. I've never actually tried to break down the acronym.
Isn't this great? Everyone loves a little acronym, FSD, fully robot cars.
Yeah, robot cars. So you've got AI robot cars, let's call it that.
Yeah.
You've now got his new robots, humanoid robots.
Yeah.
You've got Neuralink.
Yeah.
You've got XAI. Okay, and what does all that Boring Company? What else? He's got one more, I think, as well. So Neuralink is...
God just asked what Neuralink was.
Neuralink is the chip that you can put into people's heads, helping paraplegics at the moment to actually get some movement back, get some, you know, actual, I guess, intelligence in the body back again. So if we take all of these factors, boring, you know, drilling massive holes in the ground, they're not going to live on the surface of Mars initially. They're going to have to store stuff underground. Elon's got that. Tesla, shifting stuff all over the face of the planet.
Basically, 30 years time, driverless cars on Mars, pretty much.
Humanoid robots are going to have to build Mars. He's building that.
Yeah.
You've got XAI. There's going to have to be some form of governance up there just to link everything together. He's got that.
Well,
he's mental, but he's brilliant.
He's mental, but it's probably going to happen. But this timeline is interesting, right? About how far in the future. Now, the end part here is 2033. Now, hang on. Just next year, 2026, 5 landers are going to land on Mars.
Yeah.
Right? And it's got payload per ship in terms of tonnage and things like that, and some of the goals they have in. What's interesting here is if you look to 2033, right? One of the goals for 2033 for Tesla, Starlink, whoever it may be, you know, Musk on Mars, is an increased independence from Earth. Now, that line is scary.
I think it's brilliant.
It's brilliant, but it's scary, right? It's
scary, yeah. But
because you're talking about independence from Earth, people living on Mars.
Great tax benefits.
I bet there's not. I bet there's not. I bet HMRC get hold of it. If Rachel Reed is Chancellor of Mars, I'm out.
Yeah, you should probably nuke the planet. But yeah, I mean, the other two things as well. He's got a solar firm and he's got Starlink.
Yeah. Starlink can give internet to Mars already.
The guy is mental.
Just put the satellite a bit further over.
Do you know what? Shove Rachel Reeves there by herself and let her have all of those things and see what intelligent life forms.
But actually, do you know what? So I saw about Qatar Airways, right? Qatar Airways, yesterday, the advert was full free internet across all classes of the flight via Starlink.
It's amazing. I'm moving to Portugal tomorrow and getting Starlink.
But full speed internet, like home speed internet, 100 meg internet on a plane for all customers.
Don't you just wonder how he comes up with the ideas, though?
What, for internet on a plane?
Well, I know, but like via a satellite when no one else has done it.
No, I know.
How's he managed to do it?
No, it's madness.
And runs 7 companies. Yeah. It doesn't make
sense.
sense.
But that's why we're long Tesla.
Yeah,
right?
well, exactly.
And that's why
the genius.
when we get to January next year, now we'll be doing a review of what's gone on, right? And then we'll get to January, and I guarantee you, one of our picks for next year will be Tesla.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you're looking at
easy.
And look at back to the trading strategy we look at, right? These things are all going up, right? Now you'll get the few people that want to sell the arse out of all of this stuff just because it's going up and it's going to turn around, but it's not, right? And even the dips at the moment are aggressively being bought all over the place. Now the other one in this that we haven't mentioned is Amazon, right? And AWS with Amazon, which is absolutely huge. And look at what happened. When was it? 2 weeks ago? A week ago? When AWS had an outage. The world stopped.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Including HMRC, who seems to have
brilliant
their data center in New Jersey for some reason.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, thanks, HMRC.
Via AWS.
Love you, HMRC. Please don't come anywhere near us. But looking at that, AWS went down and the world stopped.
Yeah.
Right? Pretty much the world stopped. Now, the AI effects there, and OpenAI have just done a deal this week with AWS, was it? For data centers?
Was it AWS or was it?
It was definitely AWS, but was it OpenAI? Can't remember. It was an AI company. Anyway, but they've just done a deal with AWS. AWS is another one. Amazon, absolutely huge. And again, talking about this evolution to AI, Amazon could deliver anything to you.
Yeah.
Now it is the forefront of internet, of connectivity globally.
And they've also gotten rid of 30,000 people.
Yeah.
Brilliant for the share price.
Brilliant for the share price. That's all we care about. I don't work there.
No, exactly. Not my problem. I haven't got a family to feed off an Amazon wedge.
No. So, but looking at this, right? So Powell says it's not a bubble.
No.
So, but we don't think we need Powell to tell us that it's not a bubble for us, everybody to be just looking at these and going, AI is propping up. AI propping up the US economy is probably a bad thing, fundamentally. But from a trading perspective, from our perspective, you just buy the shares.
Oh yeah, he doesn't think it's a bubble because all of these, massive tech companies have a hell of a lot of money on their balance sheets and they're just ready to deploy because they see in 10 years the return on invested capital is probably going to be bigger than just investing it in treasuries like what they do now.
So Jay Powell doesn't think it's a bubble because they're actually making money. And my God, are they making money? We're long of them. Pretty much everybody's long of them. Are you long of them? And what's the contingency if it all goes wrong? Let us know in the comments, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. This podcast is for educational purposes only and is not intended to be financial, product advice, or any investment recommendation. It has been prepared without taking your objectives, financial situation, and needs into account. Any references to past performance and forecasts are not reliable indicators of future results. For more information, visit axi.com.